Well, President Trump voicing his frustration with the Fed again, even blaming the Fed for the market sell-off. Take a listen.
The markets are way up over what they were. It's a correction that I think is caused by the Federal Reserve with interest rates. I think the Fed is out of control. I think what they're doing is wrong. I think the Fed is far too stringent, and they're making a mistake, and it's not right.
Let me begin with you. Okay, over stringent, ridiculous. These are some of the comments that the president had for the Fed. What's your reaction to that?
I think that was absolutely untoward, ill-advised, and a very, very bad decision on the president's part. I hope that I'm clear. You don't take the Fed chairman, especially this Fed chairman, who is probably the most moderate and one of the decentest people you'd ever come across. He is not crazy. This is exactly what the Fed should be doing. They're doing exactly the right thing, and rates are still going to go quite a good deal higher. So I think the president made a very, very ill-advised decision last night by taking the Fed on. I think it was quite wrong. Well, actually, the Fed is raising rates because the U.S. economy is doing quite well. They'll continue to raise rates. It is not atypical. It is not unusual for stock markets to go down even as economic activity continues to increase. Stocks bottom out long before economies turn higher. Stocks continue to rise long after before the stocks turn down, long before the economies turn down. This is not unusual. This is highly expected, and we should not be surprised by this fact.
Just 25 minutes after the Fed's decision to cut interest rates, President Trump tweeted out his displeasure, saying, and I quote here, "Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve fail again. No guts, no sense, no vision. A terrible communicator," he said of his self-appointed Fed chairman. Reporters at the press conference, which began just 5 minutes later, then had a chance to ask Fed Chairman Powell how he responds to the president's criticism.
I don't. I'm not going to change my practice here today of not responding to comments or addressing comments made by elected officials. I will just say that I continue to believe that the independence of the Federal Reserve from direct political control has served the public well over time. And I assure you that my colleagues and I will continue to conduct monetary policy without regard to political considerations.
All that may be true, and it likely is. The problem is that by cutting rates, the Fed is moving rates in the direction the president wants. Though, judged, of course, by the president's continued criticism, not nearly as fast or as quickly as President Trump would like. So Powell has two dilemmas here. First, not to be seen as doing the president's bidding to preserve the Fed's independence. Second, and that's a potential conflict, especially if the president is right and the Fed should be cutting faster. Well, certainly true, the Fed is trying to set policy independent of the president.